a quick guide about the mastery and how it changed in Legion for Resto Druids. You'll notice that when you go over to the mastery, it no longer has the requirement that you cast a direct healing spell in order to activate Harmony as a buff. Harmony is already in effect at all times, and it only impacts your heal over time spells. When you have a heal over time spell on your target, your next heal over time spell will count how many hots you have and increase the tick rate, the tick value of that hot by the percentage of your mastery times the number of hots that you have. I want to make it very clear that this is how it works. First of all, it used to be that mastery would truncate down to the next lowest whole number. So, for example, my 13.15% here would get truncated down to 13%. That is no longer the case. This also meant that, like, if you had 13.99%, you would be losing 0.99% of your mastery. So that sucked. At least in the case of a Resto Druid, it is no longer the case that mastery gets truncated. So 13.15%, you get every benefit from all of your mastery. So, for example here, we'll notice how down here in my rejuvenation heals the target for 37.94 or 944 over 15 seconds. So if I put on rejuve, you can see that it's ticking for 5,094. And if you look here, let me bring it up here real quick. This is a spreadsheet that I show about this. In fact, I have my 3.15 here, and I'm going to just shove that out there. So you can see I put in my 3.15% mastery, and I have my rejuve, and with 0 hots before casting, this is all before casting, when you cast the spell before it gets applied, it says how many hots are there, so how much of a percentage boost do we have. So 5,094 there is what we're looking at. So cast it once, 5,094. If I cast it again, well, there's already a hot on the target, so you can see how 5763 is now what we're ticking for. If you look at the actual formula here, I'm not sure, did I put the formula there? Okay, my formula shows, B1 here, 13.15%, times the number of hots, which is the D1, right? And that's in parentheses, so that gets taken care of first. So, it's calculating the percentage bonus first, multiplying it times the original value, and adding it to the original value. So, this whole portion of it is basically taking the bonus amount and adding it to the original value. So C5 is the amount here, times a percentage, whatever. So, like in this case, it's 13.15%. In this case, it's 13.15 times 2, so 26.3, times the original amount plus the original amount. So, if we were to take this part out and put it here, oops, we see that the bonus amount is 1339.72. Right, so if you add those two together, at 50.94 or 5,094 plus this 1339, you will get that amount. So, what it is not is like this. Imagine you have this, you boost it by 13.15% here, and then you take this and say, okay, now that there's 2 hots on the target, we're going to boost this by 13.15%. No, that would be doubling up. You'd be boosting the boost. So it's always based on the base amount. So your base spell power matters, and your mastery is not multiplicative, it's additive, right? So you're adding another 13.15% per hot on the target. So you can see, like with Rejuve, we're going to go back to here, 50 to 94, add another one, there's 1 hot on the target when I refreshed it, so 5763. Now I'm going to put a Life Bloom on the target. Life Bloom has already 1 hot on the target, and it's at 2883 as predicted. Right? So now there's 2 hots on the target, so this is 6433. Right? Now we're going to let Life Bloom expire. 6433 stays. You see how that stays? And and it makes it so that the amount that it ticks for is not modified based on a rolling, always recalculating basis. It's always based on how many hots you had on the target when the spell was cast. So we can actually stack up our hots now and get up to 5 things going on. So like we rejuve, life bloom, regrowth, put down a efflorescence, so we get the spring blossoms, and then wild growth. And that wild growth is going to be for a lot. Oh, where'd it go? I guess I don't have wild growth on here. I did. I thought I did. Yeah, wild growth is healing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, wild growth is right there. Oh, it's in the same spot as life bloom. Sorry. I just hadn't modified my trigger. Or maybe I had. I don't know. Anyway. It's just not showing it. But you see my point here. You get as many hots rolling on the same target at once, and all your subsequent hots are boosted by, that percentage times however many hots you had going when you first started the hot. Or that also means that you want to refresh hots before they expire, so you get the mastery bonus before that hot expires. If the hot expires, you're missing out on whatever your mastery is as a bonus to that heal over time. What this means is mastery is actually not as valuable as people would think. According to Icy Veins, mastery is actually behind other stats. Let me turn this off. Mastery is behind other stats, such as it goes haste, then critical strike, then. The reason for critical strike being higher than mastery is because mastery is dependent on you healing the same person multiple times. And in a raid environment, you're going to be spreading a lot of hots around on all sorts of people. You're, like when you cast a wild growth, you'll be hitting 5, or is it 6? Did they bake that in now? Yeah, 6. 6 injured allies, and they may not have a regrowth on them or any other sort of hot already on them. In a 20-man raid group, so your mastery is not going to be as beneficial in the larger the group becomes. This is one reason why germination is not applicable as a good talent anymore, because in order for you to realize the benefit of it, you have to heal the same person twice, and that germination will automatically get boosted because rejuve is already on the target. But the better way to go is to have Spring Blossoms, where now everyone in this group already has a heal on a hot on their target. So Spring Blossoms counts as one of those hots, and it counts as a starting hot. So you put on that rejuve, and it's already boosted up to the point where you have, your rejuve is counting as if there's 2 hots on the target. Now there's 2 hots, you hit it again, there's 3. It's doing the 3 2 hots thing, or third column. Right here, 71. I'm sorry, 6,433. So that said, basically you can hit as a lot of people with this Spring Blossoms hot all at once by just putting that under the melee stack, and instead of having to roll rejuves and germinations on people, you can just get a hot on them. It's basically activating at least one mastery stack for all of the people within your efflorescence. If you want, you can also see my weak ores here. I have this weak ore that flashes when your totem is less than 10, and it makes a nice little want sound when it expires. I put it down. It's green, showing that your efflorescence is down. So, especially with the new max camera distance restriction, you can't see it all the time. You're not maybe paying attention to it or something. And it gets down to 10 seconds, like it's about to here. It's at 14, 13. You're like, oh, in the raid environment, oh, hey, yellow, flashing, I better put down another one, right? It makes a little ding sound. If you want those weak auras, I'll link them in the description of the video or in the comments of the video. Yeah, that's a quick explanation of some of the changes in Legion for Resto Druids. There's not much else to see. Flourish is a good thing to use, but I'm still experimenting, but I just wanted to give a little explanation of the mastery thing. Thanks. Bye.